It may shock you to hear this, but if you're seeing this right now, it's definitely no accident. You've encountered more rejections than you can count. Jobs lost, invitations denied, doors slammed shut, and every no you received was actually part of a hidden test to prepare you for a far bigger yes. If you watch at least 12 minutes, you confirm you're ready to see how each disappointment was paving the way for a breakthrough. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 77 so the universe knows you're open. Then, leave another comment, ready for what's next in your natural voice. Doing so unlocks immediate, tangible benefits and ushers in a new season of transformation. Chapter 1. You realized every rejection weighed on your worth. You once believed the world simply refused to grant you a break, as though fate singled you out for endless setbacks. You tried applying for the perfect job, forging a dream project, or pursuing a heartfelt relationship, and each time, a no rang out like a gavel striking a final verdict on your worth. You questioned God, asking, "Why must I endure so many losses?" It felt personal, as if the universe was punishing you or ignoring your prayers. That's how the matrix keeps chosen ones stuck. It feeds your doubts every time you confront a closed door. Friends and family tried to comfort you with hollow cliches. It just wasn't meant to be, or something better will come along. Their words did little to soothe the sting. You secretly worried that better never would come, that each door slam represented your final shot. In that swamp of disappointment, your self-esteem took blow after blow, leaving you wondering if you lacked the talent, looks, or intelligence to claim success. Even your faith wavered, leaving you uneasy at the thought that God might have overlooked you. The irony was that each rejection chipped away at a false sense of security you'd built. Perhaps you pinned your identity on a career path or relationship status, measuring your entire existence by that one yes you craved. When it didn't materialize, you felt hollow, like a painter robbed of colors. That emptiness wasn't meant to bury you. It was a hidden test to see if you searched deeper into your soul, beyond the illusions of external validation. In quiet moments, a small voice inside urged you not to settle, to trust that each no was part of a divine arrangement beyond your immediate grasp. Maybe you brushed that voice aside, stuck in sorrow, but each heartbreak made it louder until you found yourself clinging to the possibility that God might be shaping you, refining you, orchestrating events so that the final yes aligns perfectly with the real you. At some point, the confusion about your worth turned into a quiet resolve. If I keep hearing no, let me find out why and grow from it. Your greatest revelations often sprouted from the darkest pits of rejection. You lost a job but found a better skill set in the scramble to stay afloat. You were turned down by someone you cared about, only to discover a deeper empathy that nourished future relationships. Each negative pivot shifted your perspective, showing you aspects of your own strength you never would have accessed had life handed you an easy yes. These rejections transformed from curses into catalysts, forging a stronger you. Only now do you sense that the pattern of no was never about rejection, but about refinement. Finally, the day came when you realized you couldn't let the matrix define you through a handful of closed doors. You recognized that each no had a hidden code. Not this path. Not yet. That code tested your resilience, testing whether you would crumble or grow creative, if you'd surrender to despair or adapt your approach. By refusing to be broken, you unknowingly passed every hidden test. Now you stand on the brink of a bigger yes, a cosmic green light that will overshadow the rejections, making them look like small stepping stones to a far grander destiny than you ever dared to imagine. Chapter 2. You learn to view obstacles as springboards. You once cowered at the sight of obstacles. A single locked gate or denial letter could paralyze you for days, perhaps weeks, as though your entire dream hinged on that one opportunity. But over time, you notice the pattern. Each setback, however crushing it felt at the moment, eventually launched you into a fresher perspective or a new circle of allies. Initially, this revelation was slow to dawn, hidden by your immediate frustration. You only truly saw it when you look back. Imagine that time you craved an elite program or a prestigious grant, only to be curtly turned away. The disappointment stung, but in your haste to move on, you discovered an alternate route: a solo workshop, an online community, a lesson, a scholarship that ended up giving you more freedom or deeper satisfaction. Another time, you knocked on the door of a potential mentor or collaborator, receiving zero response. The blow to your morale was profound. Yet weeks later, a more aligned figure appeared. Someone who shared your spirit and recognized your value without you having to beg for an opening. These repeated patterns taught you to reframe obstacles from roadblocks to signals. Each no signaled that you were barking up the wrong tree for your highest good. Instead of compounding your grief by assuming you had no worth, you started adopting a new question. Where does this closed door nudge me to look next? The Matrix scowls at such optimism, preferring you to sink into discouragement. But chosen ones sense that closed doors often indicate a recalibration of trajectory, not a final condemnation. This mental switch, viewing obstacles as potential springboards, magically reduced your stress level. If a plan fell through, you paused to ask what you could learn or which direction you felt stirred to explore next. The universe thrived on your open mind, sending bursts of intuition that led you down unexpected avenues. It might have been a sudden interest in a skill you never considered or a random introduction to a new network of people. You found that the less you cursed your misfortunes, the quicker these alternative doorways revealed themselves. Of course, setbacks still hurt. You're not immune to sadness or anger when the door you prayed for remains bolted, but that emotional impact shortened drastically. In place of wallowing, you trained yourself to treat each no like a puzzle piece that didn't fit your main puzzle. Instead of tossing it in frustration, you set it aside and kept searching for the piece that did fit. And eventually the universe responded, hooking you up with just the right piece at just the right time, leaving you marveling at the synchronicity. This shift didn't merely boost your morale, it sharpened your capacity to pivot and experiment. You learned new methods, explored creative solutions, and sometimes discovered hidden talents you never would have found if an easy yes had lulled you into complacency. While the Matrix admires relentless hustle, you discovered that hustle can be purposeless unless steered by wisdom gleaned from obstacles. Each no taught you the wisdom of alignment over brute force. You began working smarter, co-creating with God's guidance, rather than bulldozing your way through. In the end, the obstacles that once triggered fear or depression became your secret training ground. Having endured them, you stand equipped with adaptability and confidence, far surpassing those who breeze through life. This formidable resilience makes you unstoppable once the universe sends out that awaited yes. Because you won't squander the blessing the moment it arrives, your habit of leveraging obstacles as stepping stones ensures you maximize it, proving every rejection led to the hidden preparation you needed for the grand acceptance you're now about to seize. Chapter 3. You found faith amid serial disappointments. You recall seasons where disappointment seemed serial, one door closed, then another. It was as if each fresh no arrived before you could fully recover from the previous one. You tried not to be paranoid, but the pattern grew undeniable. Friends and family sometimes pitied you, remarking, "Why are you so unlucky?" The weight of their sympathy only added to your sense of failure. Deep inside, you wrestled with the question, if God sees all, why let me flail in so many no's? Why the repeated bruises? Yet in that downward spiral, a tiny pilot light of faith flickered. You might have stayed up nights journaling or praying, confessing your confusion, but also clinging to the hope that your journey had meaning, that these rejections weren't random. In a culture obsessed with quick wins and short-term validation, you defied the pressure to label yourself a lost cause. You whispered to God, "I'm not giving up. Show me. Why is this happening?" That raw openness became the seed of unwavering faith. Over time, you saw glimpses of a bigger plan. Maybe you landed a short-lived opportunity through a back channel you never would have tried had the straightforward path not failed you. Or you discovered talents while volunteering somewhere random after a heartbreak. These small triumphs didn't negate the pain of repeating no's, but they provided tangible proof that your path wasn't aimless. Even those short blessings felt like God's winks, reassuring you that everything was leading to something greater, something you couldn't yet see. Meanwhile, every fresh wave of disappointment tested your resolve. You could sense the matrix whispering, "Quit now, settle for less." At times, the temptation almost overwhelmed you. Yet each time, a moment of clarity, a kind call, an encouraging scripture, or a midnight epiphany swung you back to center, fueling your faith again. People called you stubborn or naive, but you recognized the divine string taking you forward, refusing to let you collapse in self-pity. As your faith matured, you realized it wasn't about blind optimism. It was a conviction built from experiencing how a closed door in one corner led you to resources in another. Doubt still visited, but they no longer commanded the final say. Faith had grown arms strong enough to wrestle doubt out of the ring. This transformation was subtle, yet seismic. You discovered that persistent faith can ride out any storm of rejection, eventually landing on the shores of possibility. Now, as you scan your timeline, the pattern emerges. Each heartbreak or lost chance forced you deeper into trust, and that trust repeatedly birthed new beginnings you never would have chosen on your own. This cyclical interplay between disappointment and faith hammered out a character that doesn't fold under adversity. So each no you weathered not only shaped your destiny, but also shaped you into a vessel capable of receiving bigger blessings without letting them deform your spirit. That's how you know the next yes that's about to burst open in your life won't be a casual win. It'll be a soul-fitting triumph designed by God to reward your unsinkable faith. Chapter 4. You embrace the long game, not the quick fix. You once chased quick answers and instant gratification, especially when rejections mounted. Desperation makes shortcuts tempting. A desperate job switch, a hasty partnership, or an impulsive scheme to prove your worth. Yet each rushed attempt landed you back at square one, or worse, left you disillusioned. Over time, you recognize the pattern. Quick fixes lack stability. They might mitigate your anxiety momentarily, but the deeper quest for your rightful yes remained unfulfilled. Faced with repeated no's, you were forced to pause, forced to question why your leaps from opportunity to opportunity led to half-realized outcomes. Slowly it dawned on you that building something enduring required more than a quick Band-Aid approach. You began valuing depth over speed, whether it was learning a new skill thoroughly instead of dabbling or nurturing relationships on trust and shared values rather than superficial rapport. The matrix thrives on impulsive, short-lived gains, but chosen ones sense that real legacy demands time and sincere dedication. This long-game perspective altered your daily habits. Instead of exhausting yourself chasing every lead, you refined your sense of alignment. You paused to ask, does this door resonate with the bigger vision God planted in my heart? If the answer was no, you saved your energy. When you found a clue that felt right, you invested wholeheartedly, not expecting overnight success, but trusting the cumulative effect of consistent focus. Each day that you poured effort into these aligned areas, you noticed incremental shifts, maybe improved confidence or small but sure progress that validated the wait. Adopting the long game also meant curbing your frustration. The Matrix glorifies overnight success stories, but you learn those are often illusions, a single highlight reel ignoring years of behind-the-scenes work. You decided to commit to your path for the long haul, using each closed door as a chance to refine your approach. Suddenly, you realized it wasn't about racking up quick yeses, but about nurturing the correct yes, the one that stands the test of time. Yet patience isn't passive. You still hustled, applied, networked, and prayed fervently. The difference was you no longer measured your worth by immediate results. You saw each rejection as part of an ongoing narrative, each chapter unveiling more of your capacity. And because you stepped off the treadmill of desperation, you were relaxed, ironically making you more attractive to new opportunities. People sensed you weren't frantic to prove something. You radiated a calm confidence, an inner assurance that your path would align in due season. This approach also blocked manipulative forces. In your earlier desperation, some might have exploited your vulnerability, Now, by playing the long game, you recognize red flags sooner, politely declining shady deals or one-sided collaborations. This self-protective wisdom was pivotal. The universe invests in those who can guard their blessings, not toss them into any opportunistic lap. Each day you remained steadfast. The cosmic realm noted your maturity, weaving an opening of cosmic scale that dwarfed your earlier near misses. Had you clung to the quick fix mentality, you'd have never reached this place of unstoppable alignment, where the next yes not only solves immediate woes, but also sets you on a trajectory that transcends fleeting success, anchoring you in a destiny that spans far beyond the Matrix's trivial scoreboard. Chapter 5. You found clarity in the fog of uncertainty. Rejection after rejection can create an emotional fog, leaving you unsure which path to follow. You might have juggled multiple half-formed ideas or mourned the absence of clarity. Yet ironically, each closed door trimmed away distractions. If a dream persisted despite the onslaught of no's, it revealed itself as more than a fleeting fancy. Its unwavering pull signified your true purpose. A gut feeling whispered, "This is my lane, no matter the obstacles." This certainty became the clarity you once sought from external praise. Each disappointment stripped away illusions until only your authentic passion remained. That raw conviction neutralized the matrix attempts to keep you scattered, allowing you to focus every ounce of energy on your real calling. This process also refined your sense of self. You no longer measured success by passing markers, job titles, relationship statuses, or social approval. Instead, you centered on the mission your spirit felt compelled to fulfill, with or without acceptance from conventional roots. If no one welcomed you, you'd build your own platform. If the system denied you, you'd craft a new method. That's the unbreakable essence of clarity, unstoppable creativity grounded in moral vision. Gradually, people around you noticed this shift. Your posture, tone, and renewed self-belief reflected a deeper confidence. Even your private prayers sharpened, shifting from generic pleas to purposeful requests for divine alignment. The spiritual realm took note, hastening the arrival of your monumental yes. You also grew more empathetic. Realizing that rejection had uncovered your real path, you recognized others might be mired in their own fog of uncertainty. Rather than judge them, you offered genuine support, forging collaborative bonds. Individuals are drawn to one who moves with unshakable clarity, and this collective momentum often carries you further than you could travel alone. Thus, illusions have fallen away. You proceed with unwavering resolve, guided by the clarity shaped through each closed door. Every footstep brings you closer to the massive yes the universe has prepared. You no longer depend on outside sign-offs, certain that inner conviction surpasses any superficial nod. In this stance of resolute clarity, the cosmic gates swing open, ready to shower blessings on the path you've steadfastly prepared. Chapter 6. You anticipate a bigger yes that outweighs every no. Now that your clarity stands firm and your faith has survived the trials, you sense a monumental yes looming on the horizon. It's not wishful thinking. It's the synergy of every heartbreak, pivot, and flash of synchronicity. You catch yourself daydreaming about outcomes once deemed impossible, feeling them inch closer by the day. Doubts may still whisper that you're not ready, yet every disappointment molded you for a destiny larger than your original aspirations. This incoming yes isn't a consolation prize. It's a crown earned through perseverance, likely arriving from channels you least expect, a surprise job offer, a fateful introduction, or an unplanned encounter, opens staggering possibilities. People around you might notice a new calm in your demeanor, even if external circumstances haven't drastically changed. It's as if you've already seen the completed puzzle. Some may call it naivety, but you know the difference between hollow optimism and a divine knowing. This time your conviction feels real, as though the yes is already pulling you forward. You also suspect the scale of this yes will eclipse all your previous dreams. Those long streams of no's forced you to outgrow smaller ambitions, clearing the way for something monumental, an outcome that not only solves current problems, but also catapults you to a realm of influence once unimaginable. The promise within you far exceeds any fleeting measure of success you once craved. Yet anticipation alone isn't enough. You stay proactive, honing skills, nurturing relationships, and preparing yourself for the grand opening you sense is coming. Faith without action remains incomplete. So each day you take tangible steps, refining a portfolio, maintaining moral integrity, or reaching out to potential collaborators. This diligence ensures you're ready when opportunity finally knocks. With your heart brimming with expectancy, you reject mediocrity and persist despite setbacks. Your faith, tempered by repeated letdowns, reminds you that valleys never last. Each effort you make clarifies this promise, lending shape to the looming yes. Before long, you'll see every no as a thread in a grand tapestry, culminating in a breakthrough so profound, it validates every tear and every trial. In that moment, you'll understand why all those doors had to close and how each closed door guided you unerringly toward the yes that truly matters. Chapter 7. You cross the threshold into your destiny. The day you've long anticipated arrives. It might take the form of a phone call bearing unexpected good news or a public announcement elevating your influence. Suddenly, every no you endured converges into a single triumphant yes. Yet you remain surprisingly calm. Deep down, you know the universe orchestrated this moment in harmony with your soul's growth, proving each rejection was redirection rather than defeat. Once the initial excitement fades, a sense of responsibility emerges. Whether it's a new job, financial breakthrough, or a blossoming relationship, you steward this blessing with humility. Adversity taught you empathy, shaped your values, and refined your discernment. This isn't about self-indulgence. It's about showing what a chosen one does with a breakthrough. You multiply blessings, channeling them into broader impact that goes well beyond your personal gain. Some doubters watch in silence, retracting their skepticism. Others might congratulate you while hiding envy in their tone. Yet you harbor no resentment. They witnessed only the outcome, not the private struggles that forged it. Your true allies, those who stood by you through every disappointment, celebrate wholeheartedly, seeing your victory as proof that faith and perseverance truly can conquer limitation. In this new reality, you also stay alert. Blessings can attract opportunists eager to latch onto your success for their own ends. You respond graciously, but lean on the discernment honed through trials. The universe entrusted you with this gift because it knows you won't fritter it away on naivety or pride. As you stand on this elevated platform, you may sense an even larger calling stirring within you. Fulfilling one dream often ignites a vision of greater contribution. Whether uplifting those still struggling, pioneering new frontiers, or sowing hope where it's scarce. The deeper meaning of your yes is becoming a beacon for others, proving that grit and divine orchestration can conquer impossibility. You cross the threshold without theatrics, just calm conviction. No longer labeling yourself a victim of setbacks, you recognize how closed doors strengthened your resolve and heartbreak purified your intentions. Grateful for every valley, you acknowledge how each ordeal readied you for a harvest that surpasses any earlier ambition. In receiving this bounty, you honor the divine plan, proving that a chosen one who persists eventually walks into a destiny no adversity can overshadow.